This part of Russia is completely cut off, and it terrifies NATO. This is Kaliningrad, a Russian region stuck between Poland and Lithuania. There's no land connection to mainland Russia at all, yet it's one of Russia's most heavily militarized zones. Missiles, naval bases, radar systems, everything. To reach it, Russia must cross NATO territory or fly over the Baltic Sea. If tensions rise, Kaliningrad instantly becomes a pressure point that could pull all of Europe into crisis.
Did you know there's a flight so short, you might not even finish blinking? Seriously, by the time you fasten your seatbelt, the plane is already landing. This happens in Scotland between two tiny islands, Westray and Papa Westray, just 2.7 kilometers apart. And this isn't a tourist stunt. Students use it to go to school, teachers fly to work, patients take it to reach the hospital. So the obvious question, why not a bridge? Why not a ferry? A bridge, way too expensive for such a small community. Only 500 people live on Westray, and just 95 on Papa Westray. And ferries? Too slow and unreliable in rough weather. That's why since 1967, a tiny aircraft with just a few seats has been flying every single day. The total flight time? Just 53 seconds. Yep, the shortest scheduled flight in the world. Would you even call this a flight, or just a really fast jump? 34 years ago today, Ukraine made a decision history will never forget. Back in the Cold War, when Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union, the USSR stored thousands of nuclear warheads on its soil. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Ukraine suddenly became the third largest nuclear power in the world, holding nearly 1,900 nuclear warheads, more than China, France, and the UK combined. But the United States, Britain, and Russia didn't like that. In 1994, they signed an agreement promising to protect Ukraine if it gave up its nuclear arsenal. Ukraine agreed. Kazakhstan and Belarus did the same, sending their weapons back to Russia. Fast forward to today, the US is hesitant to fully protect Ukraine. So the question is, will Britain step in to keep its word, or will Ukraine be left defenseless? This border between Egypt and Sudan makes zero sense, and it's because of a mistake. Most people don't know this. Egypt and Sudan technically share a border that neither of them actually wants. It's called Bir Tawil, a piece of land that belongs to nobody. Why? Because two old maps, one from 1899 and one from 1902, don't match. If Egypt accepts one map, they lose the Hala-Ib Triangle, which is valuable. If Sudan accepts the other map, they lose it. So both countries reject Bir Tawil, leaving it as one of the only unclaimed borders on Earth.
This island changes its country every 6 months. Right in the middle of the Bidassoa River between Spain and France, there's a tiny island called Pheasant Island. From February to July, it belongs to Spain. From August to January, it belongs to France. No people live there, no buildings exist. Yet it is officially governed by two mayors, 6 months at a time. It's the world's only rotating international border, and it has worked peacefully for over 350 years. Have you ever wondered what the longest road in the world is? It's called the Pan-American Highway, and it spans 2 continents. It starts in Alaska, USA, and then goes south through Canada, USA again, Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, then crosses into South America through Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Chile, and ends in Argentina. The total length is 30,000 kilometers and crosses 14 countries, making it a true marvel of human engineering and endurance.
How many of Canada's neighbors do you know? Probably everyone knows and would name the United States first. The border between Canada and the USA is the longest land border in the world at 8,891 kilometers. But few people know that Canada's land neighbor is also Denmark. How is that possible when Denmark is 4,000 kilometers away? It's because of this tiny island called Hans Island. Since Denmark owns Greenland, the maritime border between the two countries runs through Kennedy Channel and separates Hans Island, creating a land border.